Paranormal Experience by Jane. The Parking Lot Nightmare. It was late, around midnight, when I finished my shift at the office. The parking lot was nearly empty, dimly lit by a few flickering lights. I hurried to my car, eager to get home. As I fumbled with my keys, I heard footsteps echoing in the silence. I glanced around but saw no one. Trying to shake off the uneasy feeling, I continued to my car. Suddenly, the footsteps grew louder, quicker. My heart pounded in my chest. I looked back and saw a shadowy figure emerging from the darkness, moving towards me with unsettling speed. Panic set in. I started running, my breath coming in short, frantic gasps. The figure was relentless, gaining on me. I ducked between cars, trying to lose my pursuer, but the footsteps never faltered. They seemed to echo off every car, every corner, making it impossible to pinpoint their exact location. I reached my car and yanked the door open, jumping inside and locking it immediately. My hands trembled as I tried to start the engine. The figure was now right beside my window, its face obscured by shadows. It pounded on the glass, the sound reverberating through the car. In a blind panic, I fumbled with my phone, trying to call for help. The figure outside was relentless, banging on the window with increasing force. The glass started to crack. I finally managed to start the car and sped out of the parking lot, tires screeching. As I drove away, I glanced in the rear view mirror and saw the figure standing in the middle of the lot, watching me leave. My heart didn't stop racing until I was safely home, doors locked and lights on. I reported the incident to the police, but they found no one and nothing out of the ordinary in the parking lot. I spent the next few days in a state of high alert. Every unexpected sound made me jump, and I found myself constantly looking over my shoulder. I avoided the office parking lot entirely, opting to park on the street and walk the extra distance, but the fear remained, gnawing at me. A week later, I had to work late again. I convinced myself that I was being paranoid and that it was just a one-time incident. I parked in the same lot, this time closer to the entrance. As the hours ticked by, my anxiety grew. By the time I was ready to leave, it was well past midnight. The lot was empty again, the same flickering lights casting long shadows. I hurried to my car, But as soon as I stepped outside, the feeling of being watched returned. I quickened my pace, my eyes scanning the darkness. The footsteps started again, this time closer. I broke into a run, my keys ready in my hand. I reached my car and fumbled with the lock, my hands shaking uncontrollably. Just as I got the door opened, I felt a cold hand grasp my shoulder. I screamed and spun around, swinging my keys wildly. There was no one there. Breathing heavily, I jumped into the car and locked the doors. My heart was racing and I started the engine and peeled out of the lot. In the rear view mirror, I saw the figure again, standing at the edge of the shadows, watching me with an intensity that sent chills down my spine. I didn't sleep that night. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw the figure's shadowy form. I decided to take some time off work, hoping that a break would help me regain my sense of safety. But even at home, I couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. A few nights later, I was jolted awake by the sound of my car alarm going off. I rushed to the window and saw the figure standing by my car, its eyes glowing eerily in the darkness. I called the police, but by the time they arrived, the figure was gone, leaving no trace behind. Desperate for answers, I started researching local history, trying to find any clues about who or what might be hunting me. I discovered that several years ago, a young woman had been attacked and killed in that same parking lot. Her assailant was never caught, and some people believe her spirit still lingered seeking justice. Armed with knowledge, I decided to visit the lot one last time, hoping to communicate with the spirit and put it to rest. I brought a small offering of flowers and a candle, setting them down where I had first seen the figure. I whispered a prayer for peace and begged for forgiveness if I had somehow disturbed her. The air grew colder and I felt a presence behind me. I turned slowly, expecting to see the figure, but there was nothing. The candle flickered and then went out, leaving me in darkness.